Hello, I'm Jashykins, and welcome to my synopsis of The Eternal Heart, Eyes Opened, and a sneak peek into the next section. Now, The Eternal Heart is my Terminator fanfic, which can be found on my blog, jashykins.blogspot.com. It can also be found on my fanfiction.net account, jashykins. So let's go into a little synopsis first. Eyes Open starts off where the last section, False Hero, stopped. Now Josh is in a little shack with Jesse Flores and Riley Dawson, and they spend the majority of the time questioning her, and at one point she gets to ask questions too. And through all this questioning, it's found out that Josh has been probably, mind you, this is a theory, probably has been brainwashed by Skynet. And so what she's done is not her fault, and still Josh is devastated, just devastated, and she starts to realize that maybe something was up with Skynet, because Jesse and Riley, who in this fanfic are a couple, that they're showing more human emotion than anyone at, Skynet showed. So she starts to think they probably have a point there. Then, when Jesse and Riley both consider Josh safe, they take her to Old Jack Camp, which is located in Jackson, Wyoming, which is actually a real town, city, or whatever, and I don't know anything about it, and I did no research about it, but to find a nice name. And I sort of found out where Jackson, Wyoming was, and it was sort of in the area I wanted. I was like, what's the point when there's already a town right where I want it? So anyways, Old Jack Camp, which is a resistance camp, and there she meets Kyle Reese, and Kyle Reese ends up giving a bunch of exposition, which I tried to do in my best way to be sort of engaging. Just not, here's everything you need to know. But anyways, Kyle Reese says that he's in love with Star from Terminator Salvation. Because I ship them. I'm just like, they were a couple. They were young, but if they get older, they probably form a relationship, which is what I did in the fanfic. So anyways, he's totally interested in Star, and so, John Connor's trying to push, say, fuck my mother, but it's not working this time around because Kyle Reese basically says, why should I fawn over a dead woman when I have Star with me now? Sort of logical there. And so he also says about Derek Reese that Derek Reese, according to Kyle Reese, died during Judgment Day. And he found Derek's corpse so mangled that it was hardly identifiable, and that him and another survivor identified him as Derek Reese. So yeah, there's no Derek, so Jesse doesn't have Derek, to ever encounter, which I wanted to decide. It sort of worked out that, Derek wasn't there, and so I could more easily. Actually, in the writing process, I don't know which came first, Jesse and Riley, or no Derek. Anyways, Jazz suddenly finds herself having a major migraine after Kyle leaves and thinks that, there are Terminators on base, and then she starts killing actual humans. And I tried to imply that Josh is not human. Of course, the last part of this section, probably I tried to make it a little confusing, but I was still saying, look she's killing humans. And, yeah, so Jash is not human. So what is she? Dun 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 dun! I mean, dun dun dun! So, yeah, that's where uh, Eyes Opened ends with everything turning black for Jash. So whether that means she was knocked out, killed, or went totally insane is up to be found out in the next section. What's the next section? It's Demon in the Shell. And yes, if you're wondering, the title of the next section is a play on Ghost in the Shell, which is a philosophical term as well as a great anime. Yeah, I've seen both the TV show, parts of the TV show, and the movie. So a little hint about what happens in Demon in the Shell. For one thing, Jess finds out what she really is. Actually, she technically doesn't really find out what she really is until maybe, I'm not going to say spoil, but I'll just say the hospital scene. Yeah. Lots of shit goes down, and Josh discovers what she really is. Of course, if you're in Los Angeles Resistance Group on Facebook, you already know. Anyways, she finds out, we'll just say what she really is for the moment. And she also, the parts in False Hero, I explained them. At least I, wrote it on the outline, so yeah. So sort of explain what happened in False Hero and the little hints there. So yay! So if you haven't, started reading The Eternal Heart, you should do so now. Of course, go to my blog, jashykins.blogspot.com, my fanfiction.net account, jashykins, and The Eternal Heart also has its own blog. The Wars Against Skynet, the URL is jashconnor.blogspot.com. And yes, if you're wondering when this next section will be out, probably in a few months. Mind you, I have 3 other series I work on. Plus, I have a bunch of other stuff I do on my blog. Plus, I have life. And what will slow down probably any of my blogging, especially, writing, filming my Let's Plays and such, will be I'm going on a 2-week vacation to California starting Wednesday. And so that should be fun. I'll, of course, make a vlog, And until next video, goodbye.